Hi, I'm Bernie from Crafters Companion. Today I'm going to show you how you join hexagons by using that dreaded Y seam. It's really not as scary, and we've got a brilliant tool as well that we can help you make them. So this is an item made with hexagons, and what we can see is we've got all of those joins there, and that's what we're talking about by the Y seams. So let's have a look and see how you do it. So I've got some hexagons here. And when you start to join them together, this is where you see that seam forming. So we can see if I move there, you can see that Y, that's your Y seam. So that's what I'm going to show you how we join them together. So it's just in 3 small steps, that's all. Okay, so the first ones we're going to do is we're going to join these two together here. So the first thing is right sides together, and you're matching up all the edges, and then just pop a pin in. And then, I mentioned we've got a tool, we've got our miter tool. Now with your miter tool, I get that lined up would help, wouldn't it? And go. This is our miter tool. If you haven't seen this before, this here's got lots of angles on here to help you do your mitered borders and your binding, but it also helps you do your 1/4 inch seams when you've got different angles. We've got angles from 45 all the way up to 135. We're going to work with this angle here because we want to join these two up. You don't actually need a protractor to measure it, you just pop the tool on till it fits. So we'll say, well, that one doesn't fit. So let's try that one. There we go, that one fits. And what we want to do is when we sew here, we want to stop and start a 1/4 inch away from each end. But because it's on an angle, it's not as easy to measure that. So hence you've got the tool. There's a little hole at the corner, this is your 1/4 inch line. So all you're going to do with your heat erasable pen is just mark a 1/4 inch. And then move along to the other corner where we're going to stop, and you're going to mark a 1/4 inch in there. So this is where we're going to sew from there to there. Now you need to secure your stitches at either end. So let's pin that, take it to the sewing machine, and we'll sew that together. So this is step 1. So we've only got 3 steps to do, really easy. So remember, just secure that stitches. If you've got a fixed stitch on your machine or you have a reverse stitch on your machine, that's what you would use. And if you've got a speed setting as well, you can always slow that down if you're a bit uncertain. And if you're not sure if you've hit the dot, you can keep your needle down, lift your foot up and just look to see. And I'm just on it there, so I know I need to now reverse. And when we take that out, and we open it up, so it looks like we've hit the seam. But if I then fold that back, you can see that we've got that gap. So for when we're going to slot our top one in, we've got that gap to stitch it to. So now we're going to put on the other side. So let's join these 2 sides. So again, we're going to put right sides together. But this time we're just going to flip it over. And the reason we're going to flip it over is because we already know where that 1/4 inch is, because that's where we stopped stitching last time. So we know that mark's already there, so we don't need to mark it again. We're just going to mark the other side. So again, we're going to get our tool, find the angle. I say we've done all the maths for you, so you don't need to work it out. Just put the shape on till it fits. And then we're going to mark that point at the 1/4 inch. So here, we've got the mark there, and we know that, I'll mark it so you can see, that's where we stopped stitching last time. So we're now going to sew from there to there. And by leaving that other end open, that allows you to join more pieces on as your piece gets bigger, because you might want to join more than 3. So again, we're going to pop that under the needle, line up, so we've got the needle going down into where we finished stitching last time. And just take your time, there's no rush. And it is better to go slow on this one because you want it to be accurate. And if you don't quite get to it, what you can do is, so there I've lifted up, I've got another couple of stitches to do. You can always put it back under the machine and do a few more stitches. So now, let's open that up, pin out. So we can see now that we've got this seam forming here. Now, the reason why you've got this overhang here is because that's going to be our 1/4 inch seam allowance to join these last two. So to do that, we're going to again put the two together that you're going to be sewing. We're going to sew this seam here. And what with this one, what will happen is as you turn it over, your other piece goes into a half hexagon shape. Can you see? And then just fold your seam back out the way, so you may need to just ease it round a little bit, but it'll go flat. You can see how that seam is sitting flat there. And this is the last step, so we're going to pin, mark, stitch, really. There are your three bits to do. We'll get our tool. So we're going to sew from there, from where we stop stitching. We need to know where we're going to stop there. So we're going to place the tool on and mark it. So we now know where we're going to stitch again. So let's stitch down there, and then that's our hexagon joined together. And you just carry on joining however many you need to do until you've got your desired pattern. And this works the same with 60-degree diamonds and also the half hexagons as well, if you're doing those shapes. There we've got our Y seam complete, and I'm just going to turn it round, excuse my cotton threads, but you can see the seams there. What will happen is they'll all fold round together, so it's when you're ironing it, it's quite a smooth motion, and you know then that that's all going to flatten down and be lovely and neat. So at that point then you just join as many as you want. If you want to join more on, you know that you're going to have extra Y seams wherever you put your pieces, and that is how easy it is to do a Y seam.